Disclaimer: this is a work of fiction created for entertainment purpose only, not affiliated with BTS or Big Hit Entertainment. Characters and storylines are fictional and for entertainment purpose only. If you are homophobic, then please just leave. Tigers Bunny promote respect and kindness. Introduction: Kim Taehyung, a confident and possessive top. Taehyung is known for his sharp gaze and mysterious charm. Initially seen as Jungkook's enemy, he hides a deep care beneath his tongue exterior. Protecting and dominant, Taehyung slowly reveals his soft side, especially when it comes to Jungkook. Jeon Jungkook, a sweet but stubborn bottom, Jungkook starts off with a crush on the wrong person. Sensitive, he often hides his pain behind a shy smile. As the story unfolds, Jungkook learns to embrace his feelings for Taehyung, growing stronger and bolder with his love. Park Minho, the bad boy of the college. Minho is charming but ruthless, known for using girls and discarding them. He is Jungkook's initial crush, a crush that leads to heartbreak and danger. His presence stirs jealousy and tension between Taehyung and Jungkook. College library, evening lights, slanting straw, dusty windows. The smell of old books clung to the air. I sat at the far table pretending to read, but my eyes kept drifting toward the tall figure leaning casually against the bookshelf. Park Minho. He was laughing with some girl, his hand brushing her waist. I tried not to let my stomach twitch, but it did anyway. People whispering about him, they said he was a heartbreaker, a player who used girls until he got bored, then tossed them aside without a second thought. I told myself I was different, then if I could just get close enough, maybe he would see me. But while my gaze followed Minho, I didn't notice the other set of eyes on me. Across the room, Kim Taehyung sat slouched in a chair, flipping through a book like he owned the place. My enemy, the guy who beat me in every competition, who always had that smug smirk ready when I failed. His gaze wasn't friendly. It was sharp, intense, like he knew exactly what I was thinking and hated it. Days passed, my attempts to talk to Minho barely got a reaction. I catch him in a hallway, smiled in the cafeteria, even stayed late in class just to accidentally bump into him. Nothing. The rejection was silent but defending. Then one rainy afternoon, I saw him leaving the campus gym. His arms were slung casually over a girl's shoulders. She giggled, clutching his jacket. He didn't even glance at me as they walked past. That's when something in me snapped. If kindness and patience don't work, maybe desperation would. I climbed the old campus rooftop later that day. It was quiet except for the rain tapping against the metal railing. My sneakers slipped slightly as I stood close to the edge, pretending to fix my shoelace. The idea was reckless, stupid, but in my head I pictured Minho running toward me in worry, finally seeing me. I leaned just a little too far, the world tilted, my heart shot into my throat. Strong arm wrapped around me, yanking me backward. Jungkook, my back slammed into a broad chest, and I felt the warmth of someone's body shielding mine. My breath came out in shaky gasp. I turned my head. Taehyung, his hair was damp from the rain, his jaw clenched so hard I thought it might crack. His fingers dug into my shoulders as he pulled me as a step further from the edge. Taehyung, voice like steel. Are you insane? You could have fallen. Jungkook, I was fine. Taehyung laughs bitterly. Fine. You were 1 second away from breaking every bone in your body. Jungkook blinked over his shoulder. Down in the courtyard, Minho stood under an umbrella, still laughing with that same girl. He hadn't noticed. He hadn't cared. Something inside him crumbled. The rain kept falling, but Taehyung didn't move his hand from my shoulders. His eyes searched my face, dark and unreadable. Taehyung. Was this for him? Jungkook, after a pause. What if it was? Taehyung. His jaws tightened, his voice dropped to something dangerous, almost a growl. You are a fool. He doesn't deserve you, blood, your breath, or your damn smile. The way he said it made my chest tighten. Jungkook, why do you care? You hate me. Taehyung stepping closer, his breath warm despite the rain. I never hated you. I hated how you looked at him instead of me. The words stole the air from my lungs. I didn't know if he was serious, if this was some cruel game, but the way his fingers trembled against my skin felt real. That night, Taehyung walked me home without asking. His step matched mine, his hand hovering close to my back like he was ready to catch me again at any second. We didn't talk much, but every time I stole a glance at him, his eyes were not just sharp anymore, they were worried. And for the first time, Jungkook, if he would been chasing the wrong person all along. Next week, campus courtyard. The sun was warm, but I couldn't feel it. I was sitting on the bench, scrolling through my phone, trying to pretend that my rooftop incident never happened. That's when a shadow fell over me. Minho, hey Jungkook, Jungkook. My heart stupidly skipped. He was smiling at me, eyes straightened. Oh, hi, he sat beside me, leaning in just a little too close. Minho, heard about your little accident. Must have been scary. Jungkook, it wasn't Minho smirking. You should be more careful. Pretty faces like yours should not get hurt. Jungkook, my ears heated. I told myself this was it, the moment I had been waiting for. But then I catch sight of movement behind him. Theon. He was standing by the pathway, one hand clenched at his side, the other shoving his phone into his pocket. His jaw was tight, eyes fixed like a predator watching prey. Minho didn't notice. He reached out and brushed his thumb over my knuckles. Minho, if you ever needed someone to take care of you, you know where to find me. To Jungkook, the words felt wrong. Too smooth, too fake. Before Jungkook could answer, the bench shifted. Theon's hand grabbed Minho's shoulder and yanked him back. Theon, low, dangerous move. Minho, raising an eyebrow. What's your problem, Theon? My problem is you touching what's mine. Jungkook froze, his breath catch. What's his? Minho laughed. Minho. Last I checked, Jungkook not your Theon. Stepping closer, eyes narrowing. Last you checked, you were still using girls like tissues. Stay away from him. The tension in the air was electric. Minho stood hands up in mock surrender, but his smirk didn't fade. Minho, guess I hit a nerve. He winked at me before backing off. Jungkook, the second he was gone, Taehyung turned to me. His chest was rising and falling too fast. Jungkook, you didn't have to. Taehyung cutting me off, gripping my wrist. Yes, I did. He pulled Jungkook into a quieter corner of the courtyard against the wall where no one could see. His voice was low but burning. Theon, do you have any idea what it does to me, seeing you with him, knowing you have been hurting yourself for someone who wouldn't care if you disappear? Jungkook's throat tightened. Why do you, Theon? Closer now, his hand brushing my cheeks. Because you are mine, Jungkook. You are always been mine. Even when you hated me, even when you ignored me for him, Jungkook swallowed hard. His so loud he thought he could hear it. You are not making sense. Theon smiling faintly but with a dangerous softness. I will make it simple. I am not letting you fall again. Not for him, not for anyone. If you fall, it will be into me. Jungkook, his words wrapped around me like the rain, that day warm, heavy, impossible to escape. The space between them felt smaller than air. Theon's hand was still cupping his cheeks, his thumbs brushing slowly like he was memorizing the shape of him. His eyes burning into Jungkook's, not asking permission, not needing it, bit Jungkook barely above a whisper. Theon, Theon, low, rough, say it again. I swallowed hard, heat flooding my chest. Jungkook, Theon. His gaze flickered to my lips, and then I was pulled forward, my back hitting the wall, his body caging mine. The scent of rain and faint prolong surrounded me, dizzying. The first brush of his lips was nothing like I would imagine a first kiss to be. It wasn't tentative, it wasn't gentle, it was claiming. He kissed me like he was erasing every trace of Minho from my memory, sealing every wound I would even given myself for someone else's attention. I gasped against his mouth, and he took the chance to. Theo, you don't get it, do you? I have been watching you destroy yourself for him when you should have been looking at me. Jungkook gulping hardly. Why? Theo, holding Jungkook's cheeks gently. Because I love you, damn it. Jungkook, soft, almost trembling. I didn't know you, Theo, cutting him off. Voice stream, you are mine now. No more games, no more chasing the wrong person. If anyone tries to touch you again, his eyes flashed. They will have to go through me first. Jungkook, my chest felt too full, part fear, part something far more dangerous. I realized I wasn't scared of Theon's intensity. I was scared of how much I wanted it. Jungkook, and if I fall again, Taehyung smirking faintly, leaning in until his lips brushed my hair. Then I will be there to catch you every single time. Time skip. The semester festival was loud music, laughter, the smell of food stalls drifting through the air. I was walking toward the art building when I heard my name shouted, Minho. Jungkook over there. He was standing near a crowd of people smiling like we were all friends. Against my better judgment, I walked closer. Minho. Everyone is being curious. Tell us, was the rooftop turn for me? Laughter rippled through the group. My stomach turned cold. He wasn't asking, he was mocking. The girl beside him smirked clearly is on the job. Jungkook. Minho, cutting in. Come on, admit it, you are obsessed. It's flattering. Really, the humiliation was sharp and hot, but before I could speak, the crowd shifted. A familiar voice cut through the noise, deep, angry. Taehyung, say that again. He pushed through, his expression dark enough to silence half the people there. The tension was so thick, even Minho's smirk faltered. Minho, relax, man. We're just having fun. Taehyung, stepping right up to him. Fun. You think humiliating him is fun. You think dragging his feelings out in front of everyone is a game. The air felt electric. People whispering. Phones started recording. But Taehyung didn't care. His hands found my waist and pulled me behind him. Taehyung to Minho, voice slow but leather. You don't get to touch him. You don't get to talk to him. You don't even get to look at him. He is mine. Jungkook POV. The crowd gasped at his words, but my head was spinning for a different reason. He is mine. I looked at Taehyung's back, broad, solid, unwavering, and it hit me. It was never Minho, not really. I would been chasing a fantasy, an idea of someone who didn't even care I existed. But Taehyung had been there every time I stumbled, every time I hurt, every time I needed someone, even when I didn't know it. My chest edged, but it wasn't the old, empty edge. It was full. I tugged on his hand, and when he glanced back, I stepped in front of him without thinking. I cupped his face and kissed him. It wasn't soft, it was urgent, desperate, like I was catching up for every second I would wasted. His hands immediately grabbed my waist, pulling me closer, the crowd completely forgotten. When we finally broke apart, I was breathless but certain. Jungkook, smiling through shaky breaths. It was never him, it was you, always you. I love you too, Taehyung. Taehyung, grinning, voice slow for me alone. Took you long enough, Bunny. And right there in the middle of festival with half the campus watching, Kim Taehyung kissed me again like a man who would fought too long to ever let go. The night was warm, the city lights glittering below the scattered box of stars. Theon leaned against the rooftop railing, watching me with the same unreadable expression he would worn the first time we stood up there. Except now it wasn't anger in his eyes, it was heat. Theon smirking. You know, I still hate you being up here. Jungkook grinning, stopping closer. Why, you catch me last time, Theon. Yeah, but this time he hooks a finger in Jungkook's belt loop, pulling him flush against him. I am not letting you anywhere near the edge. Jungkook breathed catch as his hands slide down his waist, slow and deliberate. Jungkook POV. The city felt far away. The only thing I could focus on was the way his body pressed into mine. The faint brush of his lips against my jaw. Jungkook. Tai. Theon murmuring against my skin. Jungkook, what are you doing? Theon, his mouth finding my air, voice slow and sinful. Loving you exactly how you should have been loved from the start. His hand slid under Jungkook's shirt, palms warm against his bare skin. Jungkook shivered, leaning into his touch. His lips found Jungkook's deep, slow, intoxicating before trailing down his neck, beating just enough to make him gasp. Jungkook clutched his shirt, feeling the solid strength of him everywhere. Lifted Jungkook effortlessly, setting him on the ledge. Far from the actual drop, his hip pressed between his thighs. The friction made Jungkook breathe his Taehyung husky. You trust me, Bunny? Jungkook blushing, nodding, always. His smile was dangerous and soft at all once. Then, under the hum of the city, with his hands and lips leaving fire along my skin, I realized I had fallen again. Only this time there was no fear because I knew Theon would always be there to catch me and never let me go. Jungkook POV. The city glowed faintly through Theon's bedroom window, shadows dancing across the walls. My back was already pressed into the mattress, my pulse thundering in my ear. Taehyung was above me, his gaze fixed on me like I was prey he would finally cornered. His fingers traced the outline of my jaw, slow, almost teasing. Taehyung, low, dangerous. Look at you, flushed already, and I haven't even touched you properly. Jungkook breathless. You are already touching me, Taehyung, smirking. Not the way I am about to. He slid on hand under my shirt, his palm hot against my bare skin, my body arched into his touch without my permission. Earning a dark chuckle from him, Taehyung, so sensitive. You would let anyone make you feel like this? Jungkook shaking his head quickly. No, only you, Taehyung, leaning in, lips grazing my ear. Say it louder, Jungkook, only you, Taehyung, only you can touch me like this. That pulled a growl from his throat, his mouth crashed into mine, deep, hungry, claiming every breath. His tongue slid against mine, demanding submission until I melted completely beneath him. When he pulled back, his lips were swollen, his breath raged, his hands trailed lower, gripping my thigh and spreading me open beneath him. Theon, you have no idea how long I have wanted to see you like this, spread out, desperate and mine. Jungkook whining softly, then take me, Jai. His eyes darkened completely. Theon, careful what you ask for, Bunny. I don't do gentle when I have waited this long. His kisses moved down my neck, striking hard enough to leave marks. I gasped when his teeth grazed my skin. Theon, tomorrow when you see yourself in the mirror, you will remember who you belong to. My fingers tangled in his hair, pulling him closer. Every word he said made heat cool low in my stomach. Jungkook moaning softly, I want it, Tai, I want all of you. Taehyung, smirking voice rough. Oh, you are getting all of me, every damn part. He rocked his into mine, slow but firm, making my breath catch. Taehyung, feel that, that's how bad I need you. No one else make me like this, Jungkook. No one else even comes close. I whimpers, clinging to him as if I would fall apart otherwise. Jungkook, please don't stop. Taehyung growling softly. I am not stopping until you can't say anyone's name but mine. The rest of the night blurred into heat, breathless, and his voice in my ear, low, filthy, and worshipful at all once. And when I finally collapsed against him, trembling and completely undone, he held me close, his lips brushing my temple. Theon, soft now. Told you, Bunny, you fall, I catch you always. And I know in the moment that I wasn't just his for tonight, I was his for always. The end.